pact once broken, forged anew.
Did you want waffles?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Warlocks and Waffles, a show hosted by 50% winners and the other 50% Junie. I am a champion, y'all. I have done it. They said it couldn't be done, Junie. They said there's no way Hunter could go to a Ren Fair and win the costume contest, but I've proved all the haters wrong. I won the costume contest. I was crowned victorious, and I feel pretty darn good about it.
Congratulations. Maybe
thank you.
next time you could work your way up to Junie. I'm my own category.
Yeah.
Yeah, you won something.
you
I am a thing. I am an entity.
Yeah. You
So-
all heard me say 50% winners and 50% Junie and thought that was a dig on Junie. What I'm saying is Junie is above winners. Like
That's also an incredibly positive thing. So we're both
Yeah.
incredibly positive things. Yeah.
You've all
I woke up
heard
and I
the
was
song. You've all heard the song. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. That's Junie. Like that's about Junie. Welcome.
I did accidentally stumble onto that writing session.
Yeah.
And then inspired it. They were
He
all
was
gonna be like,
sitting
"All
there.
I
He's
do
like,
is-"
I don't
you
know.
do?
I don't have inspiration for a song. And Junie walked in and he was like, well, you know, all I do is win, 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 no matter what. And he was like, that's it.
Yeah.
Well,
Sometimes you gotta go into a
and
writer's
Waffles.
room, lie out your ass, and then you're a part of a hit song writing experience.
Welcome to Warlocks and Waffles, a TTRPG morning show, obviously.
Hosted by Winners and Junies.
Winners and Junies.
The name that Hunter rejected for the show, Winners and Junies.
Warlocks and Waffles, Winners and Junies.
I
Oh,
love and
man.
hate it so much.
I might need to rename the episode. Welcome to the show, everybody. We are back. It is a new week, which means it's time for some new nonsense, or in this case, it's time for a continuation of the nonsense we did on Friday, because we're going to do
Refined
it again.
nonsense.
Yeah, refined nonsense. We on Friday had done some magic item stuff and had built out some different like items that we wanted to put in here. And we had a good time with it. We had a lot of fun. So we're gonna do it again. However, we did have a conversation because last time. The thought behind last time was we're gonna do like a bunch of these, like we're gonna get a list. We did only get through 4 because we spent so much time going back and forth and really refining these items and being like, okay, well, what about the mechanics of this? Which, Junie, I know both of us are just so desperate to work on mechanics of like, okay, let me debate how these mechanics would work. The number of times that I said like, okay, well, let me pitch you something else during that episode. So we're gonna do it again. However, we're adding new rules. The rules
We're gonna do
are
it right this time.
yes. We're gonna refine this system. So
Hunter's been freaking corrupted by winning now. Now he's just like, I know how to make anything
so
winning
here's the
quality.
point system I'm putting in
Yeah.
place here, so that
This
it's a
is what's gonna
contest.
elevate it. This is what's gonna
Um,
elevate it to winning status.
I've brought in a guest panel of judges that is going to choose which of our items is best.
So that's just the judging panel for the Ren Fair. It's like they might be.
Maybe they're biased. Who knows? Yeah, they all jump in the call. They're all wearing t-shirts that just have my face and like exclamation points and thumbs ups. And then one of them just has a picture of Junie's face and just thumbs down, like not Junie. Anyway, now that I've trashed on Junie a little bit, here are the here are the new mechanics I'm putting into place for this this game. I think you will have the opportunity to pitch your item. The other person can ask one follow-up question or like
Ooh.
suggest one follow-up like refinement to it.
Okay.
You get a minute to rebuttal or like incorporate or do whatever if you need
Okay.
to. Then it's the next person.
Okay.
We'll keep them rapid fire on this one. Okay?
Okay.
So,
Okay.
to remind you of the categories, because it has been a few days, the categories are good
Winning.
items,
Costuming.
yeah,
Ren Fair.
and giant turkey legs. The categories are good items, which are like items that are not only just a good pitch for an item, but a genuinely like good useful item in the game. Like something that is going to be something the character would actually want to use on a regular basis. Then you have trinkets. Trinkets can be like just a little like questionably magic item or a like an item that's just cool and isn't magic or like anything like that that is like not gonna be super useful in the day-to-day, but is going to be like fun little doodad or whatever. Then there's potions and consumables. I don't feel that needs additional clarification. And then there's crap items. Crap items could be items that are just without a doubt bad, like there's no useful quality for it or anything like that. It could also be a like a cursed item or an item that works in a way that it really shouldn't or anything like that. So those are our 4 categories. Junie, would you like to go first or would you like me to go first this time?
I'll go first because I have something like already in. I don't know if I sound further
Awesome.
or if I should need to do this. I have something stuck in my head, so I just want to get it out now. I
Yeah.
wish I had another mic as a prop, but I don't. I immediately. This is a good item.
Okay.
So this is I'm choosing good category right now. And it is the should I? Oh, we get a minute to do it. How about a
Do it as quickly as you can, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so this I'm changing the name, but I started out as the Talk to Me staff.
Okay.
And I imagine like a small staff with a a foam padded tip at the front at the top.
Hmm.
And it allows you to, if you go up to it and ask them very direct questions, have advantage on like persuading the person to answer you, but it like almost has like a charming effect. Like if somebody doesn't fail the save, it's gonna have a double effect in that you have the advantage. You're gonna have the
Hmm.
advantage, but if they're charmed and you have the advantage, they're just gonna answer you. Have you ever seen an interview where it's like the person's just like putty in that person's hands?
Yeah.
This is like you are either they're gonna be putting in your hands and then they're just like answering your questions and you're the Barbara Walters of this world, or you at least have a good shot of breaking their character and getting an answer.
Mm,
But this is essentially like a very powerful interview microphone.
got it. I I will be very honest. When you said a foam padded stick, I was just picturing like a walking stick with like foam at the end of it that you're like poking somebody with,
Pretty funny.
and then they're responding, and I was like, I don't understand how poking somebody with a stick is gonna make them charmed. And then as you went on, I was like, oh, it's a microphone. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel dumb.
I was gonna like I was gonna grab another microphone and then just be like, oh look, it's like, very short, but it is a staff, so it's almost like a rod. Uh, it's that weird length where it's like it's not a staff, but it's not a rod because I
Hmm.
think that's probably for it. So it's like, it's just that weird enough length, and then people have to talk into it.
Nice. I like that.
So, what do
That's
you think?
very cool. I like that a lot. My question would be how do you envision the this sort of charm effect working? Is it a like you're just getting advantage on it? Is it based on a save? Is it a like just an aura? What how would this work?
I think that it is because I was like, let's make this a good thing.
Right.
Uh, Whenever there's a charm, one thing that I think that gets like forgotten about when it comes to like attitudes
Mhm.
is like an attitude can slide in a direction. So if somebody is like neutral, then it might shift them to like super positive. And if you
Mm.
have advantage with somebody that's super positive, that's like guaranteed.
Sure.
And if it's like, negative, it shifts to neutral. That's where the advantage is going to matter. If it's like you can't get them out of negative, at least, you know what I mean? So it's like one of those things that's going to stack. And it's like, it's either going to be killer or at least give you a shot.
Mm.
So, but it's targeted, and
Right.
that's why an aura would be hard because then it's just like they can walk into a room and then everybody's putty in their hands. It's
Right.
like no, it has to be focused, targeted. It's like, can you tell me where the goblins are? And then you just like they're like you're gonna get just at them. Whether there's a limit, like almost like a
Right.
battery if there's charges, or
Yeah,
if
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like you have one interview a day. So it's just like you use it on one person, you you have whatever time you have to get that, but once they break away, like that's it, the interview's over.
Right.
They're desensitized, for the
Yeah.
rest of the day. So I think that it's like it can't be spammed,
Yeah.
but it's just like it's really good, and it could really be a good information gatherer, so it
Yeah.
can't be like a common or even uncommon. This is like, no, this could be incredibly powerful in the wrong hands.
Yeah. I could be an interrogation tool. Like there's a bunch of different ways you could go with that.
Yeah.
I like it. Very cool. I'll go with a trinket. I like a trinket. We're gonna make this a. I did like a good luck charm last time.
Hmm.
I think I'm gonna go with just a tankard. That flavors things. So anything you put into it will taste faintly of raspberries.
Okay.
So like if you put a beer or something like that in it, it just gets some like raspberry undernotes. Like it's not anything crazy. It doesn't overwhelm it with raspberries, and it always works. Like it always tastes good. It's never a like you taste it and you're like, ugh, oh, that's so overwhelmingly raspberry. Like it's
Yeah.
subtle and it's just little bits.
Okay. Um, does this neutralize anything or just a slight flavor enhancer?
Just a slight flavor enhancer.
Okay.
Like it's not going to neutralize anything if you are if you put bad beer in there, like a spoiled beer, it's still going to be a spoiled beer. But also it'll taste a little bit like raspberries. And like, have you ever had something where you go like, this isn't good. I don't like this, but there is that one note that is like okay. But like the rest of it is
Yeah.
just not good. That's how it would be. It'd be like anything you put in there is going to taste faintly of raspberries, and it's going to taste that part of it will taste good. The rest of it is going to be bleh. If
Okay.
you put a bad thing in there, you put a good thing in there. It's awesome.
Okay. Yeah. I I feel this. There's something like it that exists. And have you seen the thing where it's like it's there's at Walmart where it's like flavored like water bottles?
Yeah. The water bottle that has like a little thing in the top of it, so as you drink water, it flavors the water just a little bit.
Well, there's one like that where it flavors it, and then I saw one recently. It's called the Air Up, where it essentially puts almost like a it looks like a an spot like a little like circle, looks like a gummy, like a sugary sour gummy
Okay.
around the part where you put your mouth, and it is actually more of like a scent thing.
Huh.
And they were
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
you take it off its water, you put it on there, it becomes lemon lime.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually flavor anything, it just tricks your nose into
Yeah,
thinking.
into thinking it
So
does. Yeah.
so it's just like this is like the magical equivalent where
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
really it makes it just enough to go, "Yeah, you're ingesting this, just raspberries," just double checking, making
Just
sure that
raspberry. Yeah.
cool, alright, yeah. No, I
It's
like
a
it.
trinket.
It's
You don't get additional
yeah,
options with a trinket.
yeah. No, I'm here for it. I think that's solid.
Cool.
Yeah. I keep doing the player thing where I'm like, "How could this be abused?"
Right. How can I
It's
break
just like,
this?
how can this be ridiculous?"
Right. And it
Uh,
doesn't actually contain raspberries. So even if you are
mm,
like if you found somebody who was allergic to raspberries,
oh, that'd be a treat.
you can't even use it to poison them. Like it
I was
doesn't
gonna say
taste
it's a
raspberries.
treat. It's like,
It
have you
does
ever
it
wanted
is a treat. Yeah.
raspberries, but you can like try it? Yeah.
Raspberries are a rare delicacy in these lands. Some people will go their whole lives having only consumed one, maybe two raspberries.
Raspberry allergies are much more common than people think. So many people are like
It's
deathly allergic to
it's
raspberries.
devastating.
Not gonna lie,
The
don't we?
halfling community.
I think we know, like, at least I think we know we were on the Mock I think somebody was allergic to berries. Very specifically, they could not have berries. Like, this is a
Mm,
real thing.
yeah,
They were like, "If I have a berry, no, it's bad."
allergies are
It's just
crazy.
yeah. Okay. This is cool. Oh man, I don't even know where to put this one. I think it's bad.
You
Um,
could pitch it and we can figure out where it goes after if you want.
I don't know why I don't know what thing triggered this thought in my head, but I want like almost like a little notepad that's just called the check please.
Okay.
And if you go up to somebody and, and write a bill for them, you can go, it's like, all right, yeah, I'll take this whenever you're ready. And charge them for something,
Uh-huh.
like there's a chance they might pay you. Like that, like like it almost like makes you pay like it's just like, oh yeah, sorry about that. Here you go. And it's like, thank you, you're all set. And they go away, and then it isn't until later they go like, what did I pay him for? Like, and I don't know where to put this. I just don't know why I thought it was so hilarious to go like, check please. And then
Yeah.
like somebody's like
Yeah.
just so confused, bamboozled into like, oh, 3 gold? Yeah, yeah, sure. All right, no problem. Here you go. All right, thank you.
What's so funny about that to me is that it's like calling it the check please is like that's the thing people say when they want to pay for something. So
Yeah.
like yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why this worked out this way, but, like, I was just like,
I
it's just
think
like is it like a charm? It's like because what do you call a charm that it's like a temporary confusion charm? It's
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah,
charming them in a way.
it's similar to like the that spell that lets you like inflate the price of an item.
Yeah,
Um
mislead or
yeah.
yeah.
Do
So
you
it's a charm effect.
yeah.
Like, that's how you would
Do you feel like there is a limit to the amount that you can try and trick people into paying?
I would almost do like a deck of many things situation where you just go, "It's got this many pages."
Mm,
Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, you got this, and I mean, you it wouldn't be a high DC. I feel like it wouldn't be something that's, like, too overpowered,
right.
but, like, if it works, it's just like, you go to the stable master, and it's just like, "Yeah, we're gonna need 15 horses. Here you go, check please." You know, and you just give it to them, they're like, "Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, no, we'll have those horses ready for you." And they give you 15 horses, like, if that's what the bill is, and then it isn't until you go away that there's like, wait, why the hell did I give them 15 horses? Like, it's
Right.
just gonna
Yeah.
happen. It isn't until like a little later, like, wait a second, because it
Yeah.
doesn't
Why
make
did I do
sense. It's
that?
like it's not a strong enough enchantment where it's just gonna they're gonna reconcile it. Like, yeah, this was perfectly logical and justified.
Right.
It's like one of those like isn't it like a isn't like a not friends. Isn't charm person like later on like they know they were charmed.
Yeah.
So
100%.
I think this is just like a very isolated charm person like situation where it's
Yeah.
just like it is a quick like if it works,
Yeah.
they pay what their bill is and then they go. Yeah, I think you couldn't kill somebody. You could I don't think you could like go like you pay with your life.
Yeah.
type of
It's
thing.
not
Like I
Death
think it's a
Note.
well, yeah,
Um,
I think a charm effect is like they won't do harm to
yeah,
themselves.
for sure.
So I think it's like you can't like, oh, your bill is kill your partner, kill your
Right.
bandit buddies. It's like they won't do that, but
It has to be something you give. It couldn't be a like a
yeah,
an action. I feel like potions and consumables. Like you have a set
yeah,
number of pages in the like the
yeah.
pad.
Yeah,
Once those are
roll
gone,
a
you're
d20 or
yeah.
something, and it's just like, yeah, they have this many, and I think a d20 is probably good because you don't want to give somebody like up like, oh, you got 45 pages of this, you got 73 pages, and it's just like,
Hmm.
no, you got 6 pages.
Yeah.
You got 10 pages, so it's kind of cool. The more pages, I feel like it encourages them to use it, so it'd be like
Hmm.
shenanigans, but like you want an item they're gonna use instead of like, oh, you got 3 pages, like when are we gonna use these
Right.
3 pages? It's like,
Well,
uh,
and it's funny to me because it's like a item that if they use it, they will be like losing favor with merchants all over the place of like
mhm,
if you go into a town and you're like I need 15 horses and you give it to them and the stable person gives you 15 horses and you leave,
yeah.
when that wears off and they realize what has happened, they're going to immediately go to the authorities and be like somebody used magic to like dominate my
Yeah.
mind to steal horses from me. Like that's
Yeah.
that's
No, that's
immediately how that's gonna
that
go. So they're gonna ride back into town sometime and get arrested for like
I
grand theft horse.
I immediately thought of like using against enemies, and the times can see it being used like in everyday, like in town,
Hmm.
is going to be by like new players or
Right.
the player that's like, "Oh, I've outsmarted the GM," and
Yeah.
they're like they're gonna. I was like, okay, but you should have taken into account that your action has
Right.
repercussions. So
Yeah.
guess what? Everybody's pissed. They know. You know that they know. Like I clearly stated that this is the case. Or maybe shenanigans against each other. It's like, yo, let me get that magic item. And if they're cool and they're funny with it, something like that. But it's powerful enough to be annoying, but not so powerful where it's just like, going to break everything.
Right. I like it. Um okay. Let's do a we've kind of accidentally been going down the list. I'll do a crap item. Let's do a cursed item. Or actually no, let's do it the last crap item we did is kind of a cursed item. So we'll do a just a flat crap item. It's going to be a uh uh it's going to be a wand called Tomorrow's Problem. And it allows you to point it at minor inconveniences to temporarily remove them, and then they come back tomorrow and are worse. Um,
So
so
like a banishment
yeah, a
type of
banishment for minor
situation.
inconveniences. But I'm picturing it being for like, oh no, I like crapped my pants, and you like use the wand and get rid of it, and then tomorrow you crap your pants tenfold. Like it's,
Oh,
it
no.
gets rid of it, but it puts it to tomorrow and makes it way worse. Like
Uh, can
it
this be used against people?
I think it uh
That guy keeps trying to give me a check for horses, and I don't want to give him horses.
right.
I'll deal with him tomorrow. I gotta save the day now.
I I think
Boof.
you
Will he go away?
I think in theory you could like there's probably
I
a
feel like
it,
I feel like a
there's
person would try
there's
to
probably
trick me
there's
into
a save against it for like
yeah.
in the same vein as like
I
banishment.
can I can vividly
Um
imagine somebody going to look, this guy's a minor inconvenience in the grand scheme of things. We're trying to save the world.
right.
So can I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
rid of this guy for a day? And it's just
Yeah.
like
I think I think in theory you could. However, you then deal with the ramification of it comes back tenfold. So like what does that mean? Are there now 10 people that are coming after you with that thing? Or is that guy 10 times more powerful than he was before? Like it there are there's a trade-off there.
Can I
Um
can I tell you what I envisioned it looking like? And I know it's wrong,
absolutely.
but I imagine like just a simple looking wand or stick,
Mhm.
and there's like a flip calendar
Mhm.
at the very top, like the kind where it just says like, the day of the week and then a number type of situation, but like it's blank, and then when you go tomorrow's problem, you it's almost like a page flips, and then the image of whatever the thing was is now on that page. And then when it's next day, the page flips, but it's like a really exaggerated version of whatever that was.
Yeah.
So if it was you go like that, it's like pooped pants, and it's just like a clip art of poop pants. And then next time it's just like pants that are so filled with poop.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like overflowing. And it's just like and then they're back. It's
Yeah.
just back, and it's like, oh no, look at the like, you know what I mean?
I'm
But it's like,
I'm picturing it being like a wand with a crystal in the top of it, and you like do it, and then like an image of the thing appears in the crystal.
so you know
Um,
what was
so you know
like
what you
poofed.
removed, and then the next dawn or like 24 hours from then or whatever, the image will change, and then it
What
goes into effect right away.
Now you said you didn't want this to be cursed, because I instantly thought of one thing that would be
It's kind
funny.
of cursed.
I think something would be really funny is you have disadvantage on remembering,
Mm,
because people that put stuff off, it's one of
right,
those things like they forgot that they put it off. So it's something where it's like because the player might forget like
right.
legitimately, but it's just like, yo, did you
If you are
remember?
attuned to this item, you have disadvantage on like all checks
Yeah,
to recall information.
yeah. And if it's like everybody is like, it's like, yo, that thing's gonna happen. It's like, oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you remembered. Now I remember. But if you're just there, it's like, yo, did you forget that you were about to shit your pants? And it's like, it's like, well, or
Oh,
are you prepared for this? Are you ready for this? Are you in a river? Are you just gonna be out here having
yeah,
dinner,
yeah,
shitting
yeah.
your pants? Like,
Well,
what's happening?
and it's funny because it's kind of like in the same vein as the like omnipresent statistic orbs that we did last
Yeah.
time. Is it's like it doesn't matter how much you attempt to avoid it, like it is coming back
It's
tenfold
coming back.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like because
Tenfold. Jesus Christ.
it's
It's
so
just
funny to me to
it's
imagine
one
this
day.
being
It's so much. Yeah.
yeah, like you can't find your keys as you're leaving the house, and you like use the wand to like find your keys today, but then to like you go to find them tomorrow, and it's like either 10 very important things are missing, or like you've now lost your keys for 10 days and no amount of trying to find them
Oh,
will help.
okay, you just made something real different, because you are saying then it makes the problem go away in that it solves your problem for you.
Yeah,
Because
gets
I was
the minor inconvenience.
I
Uh
interpret it as if there is something that is inconveniencing you, it goes away. You said the example of I can't find my keys. Boom, my keys are here, and it brings something back.
mhm.
Interesting.
The inconvenience goes away. Um
That's
so
bigger than yeah, that's kind of
so
okay.
like the in the example of like somebody is coming up and bothering you,
This
and
is
you're like,
cursed.
this is
This item's
inconvenient.
cursed.
Yeah, it's a cursed item. It's become more
No,
cursed the longer I've talked about it.
yeah. Because look,
Like
check it out.
this person is bothering you, use the wand. It doesn't imprison that person for 24 hours. It just like, okay, the conversation ends and they leave you alone.
Yeah,
But then tomorrow you're gonna have to deal with this problem tenfold.
yeah, yeah. No, this is like, it's just like your friends are trying to tell you to come out, and there's this girl that you really like, and they're all like, "Hey, come on!" And you're like, "No, you know what?" And then your fear of intimacy and your antisocial tendencies go away. And what is it? They come back, and you're gonna lock yourself in a closet? Like what? Hold on a second. Like
See,
it's just like,
I
whoa.
think that's where it becomes incredibly important to clarify minor inconvenience. Like
Because it is a
anything
minor
beyond a
inconvenience. It's like, oh,
minor
I gotta go.
inconvenience
I
is
have to
not
go out
going to
with
be
my
handled.
friends. That's
Yeah.
a minor convenience. Oh, I gotta go out with my friends. Well, then
Yeah.
he's like, well, never. Now you're never gonna see your friends. It's like,
I think maybe we go like minor. We need to stop talking about this item.
I was about to say
The
the same thing. I was like, we're
uh
doing the thing. We're doing the thing.
maybe we go minor inconveniences if you're not attuned to it. If you attune to it, you can do like larger inconveniences. Oh man. Like,
It's in
oh
quotes.
man, my stomach has been real upset recently. That's a minor inconvenience. Boomf. And then it's like tomorrow. Well, now you
Oh
have
no.
IBS. And like you
Oh my god.
can't get rid of it.
You've
Um
pooped your pants so hard. That's the solution to.
it's just
That's the worst case scenario for most
it's
things.
really monkey's paw, and I love a monkey's paw magic item. Like
Okay.
oh, we were riding and my horse broke its leg.
And
Like
now I pooped my pants.
let's use the let's use the wand, and it's like tomorrow just all of your bones break. Anyway, next
What? All
item.
right. Did we get through all
Tomorrow's
the?
problem.
Yes, that's good. Were there any other categories? Did we get them
No,
all?
we've done one in each category so far.
Okay. Okay. Um. Oh God, I'm trying so hard not to say unpoopable pants. But I don't want to waste my turn on that. But at the
you-
same time, it's just
See,
they're unpoopable pants.
these pants are unpoopable. However, if you used the wand to avoid pooping your pants and then you switched into the unpoopable pants, the wand would just switch your pants and you would poop a different pair of pants. You're gonna poop your pants, Junie. It's unavoidable.
Okay.
We've been talking about pooped pants for too long.
Yeah. But I do want to do something with pants.
Yeah. There's
And
not enough magic pants.
I think just a magic item called Perfect Pants. And I think once again, this is one of those really good ones. Where they will almost like the effects of heroism. Like if you feel like you have a really good pair of jeans, just it's like a self-confidence booster. So it's like Perfect Pants. I would also say, depending on your class, that's going to affect your armor class however you need to. So if you're like a barbarian or a wizard, it's clothes. So it's not
Yeah.
going to really change anything.
It kind of
But let's
evolves
just
to you.
yeah, but if you were using like half plate,
Mhm.
probably you can probably wear those. If you're wearing full armor, like wearing these pants might be hard, like
Mhm.
getting like other elements over it.
Oh,
Um
see, I was going the opposite direction. I was thinking, like, if these are perfect pants, they will always be the pants you need them to be. So if you are wearing
mm,
like plate, they would change into like the bottom half of plate instead of like
I
being plate
I
putting
did
them over it.
have that they would conform to whoever was wearing them because I vividly imagined somebody putting it on a duck. Because I also thought that it also gives people advantage, like it has like a charming aura to it. And I was just like, we need people to not hate this duck. And I don't know why it was a duck, but like just like
No,
putting
but a
pants on an
duck is a great
animal,
example. Yeah.
like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we gotta sneak this cow past the guard, put the pants on the cow. Which legs? Pick two legs, damn it, and let's put pants on the cow. And
If
it's
a
just-
cow was wearing perfect pants, would it wear it
yeah,
like this or like this?
yeah, it would spark a debate, but
Yeah.
if you put the pants on the cow, like it would conform. They'd have like an utter jean pouch, and then like they're jeans too. They look like jeans, even if they're
Yeah.
plate, they're jean plate.
Yeah.
But I just picture like a heroism, like charm against being frightened,
Mhm.
and then like like a friends effect where it's like you got some advantage, but not so overpowerful where you're like you're robbing a bank or anything,
Right.
but just like your
It's just
people are friendly.
I've definitely encountered people at like conventions and stuff where I'm like, "Oh my, that's a very cool piece of clothing you're wearing.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
I want to talk to you."
yeah,
Yeah.
just but perfect pants where it's just like, and they always feel good, like like that's why I
Oh
was
yeah.
just like, this is a confidence booster.
It's
You can't be frightened.
I like a
uh
magic item that like it just makes you feel good about yourself.
yeah, yeah,
And because you feel supernaturally good about yourself and that it like gives you some new stuff. That's fun. I like that.
yeah,
Yeah. It's a good one.
just pants, perfect pants. You gotta tune
Um
to them. You gotta really feel those pants.
yeah.
You gotta really get them. You can't just put them on and be like, yeah, I'm perfect now.
Okay. I like that. Let's do I don't want to do another trinket. So I'm going to go with the potions and consumables. Um this is a spell scroll. Um and I've used this with one of my groups. It is a custom spell scroll. What's up?
Go. I'll finish when you're done.
Okay.
That's-
I've used this with one of my groups. It is a spell scroll that allows you to kind of combine two spells.
Ooh,
So it allows you to essentially store two spells on the spell scroll. So you have the spell scroll, you cast two spells into the scroll, and they like absorb it, and then it's ready to go. Because the spell that is in the scroll is actually just this spell that allows you to kind of like absorb the two. Then once you cast it, those two will be merged in some way, up to the GM's discretion how it happens, but you will like use the scroll, and then those two spells that were in it will both go off. In it won't
they're discharged
necessarily,
at the same time.
they would be done at the exact same time, like they're both going to
Okay,
go off right away. And they are merged into one new spell.
gotcha.
So it's not a case of the like um I cast Wall of Fire and like Sanctuary. And like both of those things are going to go off and I get to choose my target. Like that's not how it works. It is those spells are going to be merged into one spell when
Interesting.
it goes off. So it's like Spirit
Mhm.
Guardians, right? I'm going to do Wall of Fire and Spirit Guardians. And then when you cast it, like you either are choosing, okay, am I going with the like I want to do a line from Wildfire, or do I want it an aura around me? Cool. If it's an aura around me, it's this like aura of like radiant fire that's just like pulsing out in all directions.
Or
If
can you
I
do a line of spirit guardians?
Yeah, like a
That's
lot,
kind of
like give me
nuts.
a wall of these like ghostly spiritual warriors that are gonna like just start attacking. Like and so
Yeah.
it's but it I think it's not up to the player how those spells interact. It is up to the like the GM to go, okay, these are the two spells. And then I would probably, if there are like very different spells in there, like one is a self, one is a like area, one of like that sort of thing, I would have the GM ask the player which of those spells they want to be like the dominant one for where it's sort of located. But then I think it's up to the GM's discretion how those spells merge and become something new.
No, I like it. It would this be a property of the paper, or it is like, do they actually combine the spells on it? Like it's something one of them would be able to do? Is this a slime they bought and then it's already pre-done, or they're paying somebody to do it?
I
Like, how would they acquire that thing, or do
I
they have a
think it's
say in what
a
goes into it?
yeah, I think it's a item that is sold, and maybe a scroll isn't the correct like item for it. But I think it's a an item that is sold that has enchantment on it that it will absorb two spells and then like merge them. And
I think
so
a scroll would be cool, because then it's like it's the same thing when you buy a magic item and it's like somebody took the time to craft it, and
mhm.
you just go to buy paper. It's like, well, you didn't just buy paper. This paper has
You
enchantments
bought
all
a
around it,
scroll that already has an enchantment on it, but the
and it has like
enchantments
two.
allow it to absorb more magic.
Because in the new rules, I think anybody that can cast a spell, like I don't
Mhm.
even, this might have been the case last time, but anybody can write down a spell.
Mhm.
Anybody can take the time to write down a spell.
Yeah.
So if this is just, this paper basically has two name lines, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like two
It's
spell lines.
two sources and then those
Yeah.
merge together.
Or yeah, or like this time you
Um
could write front and back, and when you roll it up, they're one now. So it's kind of
yeah.
like, but the a
I'm
paper that
picturing
does the combining is kind of,
I'm
yeah, it
picturing you
works.
like unroll the scroll and there's like the left and the right side, and you like cast the spell into it for the left side, and all the like runes and glyphs and stuff appear on the left side, and then you cast the one on the right side and all those runes light up. But then around the edge there's also these like runes and
Yeah,
glyphs.
yeah, that's what I pictured.
And so
Yeah.
once there are two in it, those ones flare to life, and all of those runes and glyphs kind of like shift and change to merge into it.
Yeah, I'm digging it.
But yeah,
Would this be like something they could get easily or multiple of, or is it just like there's one of these things, or like,
I
yeah,
think
you know, it's just it's expensive, like
it's probably not a one, like there's only one in existence, but I do think it's probably one person who has figured out how to make these, so they're very
Mm,
limited and they're very expensive. Because you don't want it
gotcha.
to be a like, I cast create food and water and also create bonfire. And now I have the create camp spell.
Mm,
You want it to be a
yeah.
like, I'm using this for some like crazy stuff. Because especially at the higher levels, the ability to potentially abuse that gets crazy.
Yeah. No, yeah. I have the wish and kill power word kill spell. It's just like what?
Yeah,
I kill.
I have Circle of Death and Power Word Kill. I would like to put both of these in here, and do a like Power Word Kill area of effect. Like insane.
Mm. All right. I don't want this to be my item, but this is what I thought of when you said like a spell scroll.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, like a spell scroll, right?
Judy's
And
just
then
breaking the rules, man.
I'm just breaking the rules. A spell scroll, right? And when you roll it up, whatever spell has in it, if you like this is the dumb version, right? And then I fixed it in my head. The first thing was like if you drink or snort anything through the scrolled up spell scroll, the spell flavors it, right? Like it's like, ooh, this is what lightning bolt tastes like. It's just like that's what I thought of first, and I was like, this is stupid.
Made a lightning bolt spell scroll, and I just drink my water through it, and it
Yeah,
tastes like
it's just like
McDonald's Sprite.
it's just
Uh,
like, it's like, so wait, you have like fireball on that scroll. It's like, yes, and you only like drink lemonade. You ever taste spicy lemonade, man? Here, try it.
yeah.
Drink through this fireball scroll.
Drink this
But then
regular whiskey through a fireball scroll. It
correct,
tastes like
yes.
cinnamon whiskey.
Yes. But then I thought of it the other way. What if there was a spell scroll and if it was
Hmm.
elemental or something like that, and you put like a dart or something like that.
Hmm.
And then it's just like
Oh, interesting.
and it charges like I feel like there are I know I've seen it but it might have been homebrew but something where it's just like you can turn a mundane ammunition or a mundane
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
like have a charge of something so it's like oh
I
this has like a shocking grasp in it so I just like
yeah.
and it's just little
But
jolt.
it's a scroll, so it'd be like single use, right?
Well,
Um,
that's like if you use it, but if you're just like like almost like butter, like you're just shaving a little off for a dart, like, how much
interesting. So
shaving
that
off can you do if you're
right,
not using it like
right,
that? If you're just like, chart is that the ammunition has like
right.
the ability or is it like the scroll? I don't know. That's not even the thing I wanted to
Like
do, man.
lightning bolts. You do like a lightning bolt spell, and that does like however many D whatevers.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
yeah.
if you attach it to this item, as you like, you can shoot the ammunition out of it, and it does like one of those die each time you use
Yeah.
it
I think that's
until
really yeah.
the
The
scroll
s-
is consumed.
the spell slot
I'm.
level.
I know you said you don't want it to be your item. I'm adding it to. You can do another
Like
item. I'm adding this to the list.
Like, yeah, but the higher the spell slot, the more ammunition that you can charge. I think
Hmm.
that's kinda cool. And I don't know why I imagined snorting things through it too. That was kinda funny to me. It was just like reverse. But the thing I want to do is you're actually your shirt. Is never let them know your next soup.
Yeah.
And I just imagine like a bowl that either always has soup or when you put soup in it, no one can tell what kind of soup it is. And neither do you because it's always a different soup. Every spoonful is
Oh
a different soup.
yeah.
And I don't know how this is helpful. This is definitely stupid.
Yeah.
Uh, but it
It's
is
a
definitely like a
it's either a trinket or a crap item.
I it might be a crappy trinket, I guess, because I don't see how like this is like yeah you're gonna trick them with your soups, and it's like
Yeah.
I don't it's not gonna be like oh there's a 1 in 1,000 chance it's like nightshade soup like you know what I mean it's like there's a chance because it'll always be a delectable soup but it'll be a delectable soup to someone
Yeah. I feel like
so
it would have to have a insane um like an insane rolling table for
kinda yeah
for this very dumb item. Like
it's very stupid yeah.
every bite you take from this is going to be a different type of soup. Um
It's the only time I feel like I would ever ask a player, "Does your character have allergies?" Does your character is your character allergic to boysenberry? Is your character allergic to like, basil? Like,
mhm.
it's just like then because specifically it's like you rolled a 347. well, this is peanut basil soup, son, and
Yeah.
you dead. Like you are going into
Let
D&D
me
anaphylactic shock.
So I have my question. My question for this one is, do you envision this as a like a bowl that like fills up and like you take a spoonful and you taste it and it will taste like it will taste different each time? Or do you envision it being like a spoon that like you are taking a spoonful of something else and just every time you take a spoonful of it, it doesn't matter what was in the bowl, you get a different bite of soup in your mouth?
This is good because this brings a category of item that I see in like other media and I don't see as often in D&D unless it's boots, but a magic item that requires both pieces. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
if you wear two different types of boots, I don't think you can do, yeah, I got one spider climb and one striding and springing. Like otherwise we'd all be doing that shit. Also, can we do
Mhm.
that shit? Like that literally just hit me hard. Can we just mix and match boots in parties if they're not attunement? Like
Like
we
you
get
have
maybe half the
one
effect?
one boot on
Yeah, let's say I
one
got spider
person?
climb, you got striding and springing. Could we just like
Interesting.
and then like I can or I can't jump the full whatever, but like it's still
Well, I
better
mean,
than my jump.
I feel like the spider climb one would be like only your 1 foot would be able to like stick to the wall.
But I feel like that would help me parkour up things now. Because if I could jump a little harder, stick for that millisecond to give myself
Interesting.
the other
Yeah.
push, then I can at least do a video game double jump off of stuff.
Yeah.
Or what if
I mean,
a boot of flying?
you definitely would need you would definitely need to have a kind of whatchamacallit. Words are hard. Um I think it would incorporate checks, right? Like you would have to
I think a
you would
check.
really
Oh,
have to get
to do
used
certain
to
effects,
doing the
yeah.
thing.
But like I think yeah, but anyway, but for the bowl, I think it's an item where it's like it doesn't work if it's not both.
Mhm.
But like maybe they just always end up near each other, like almost like the mask where it's like you throw it and it's like threw the spoon away. Oh, the spoon's right here. Like it's
Mhm.
just they're always gonna be together. Um, and I at first I had it originally like it's always gonna look like a bowl of like a gruely oatmeal. It's just a gray substance. Like it's
Right.
always a gray, clearly edible thing. It's not like, like
Mhm.
swamp water.
Does it
And
automatically fill or would it you fill it with something else?
I am between two worlds because it is I imagine it's either it turns whatever it's put into that. So
Uh-huh.
it's almost like, we have water or like let's just put some twigs and dirt, but it'll turn it into soup. So you're
Right.
giving them like, hey, this is a never-ending food source.
Right.
But it's a mystery
Any
soup and it's just
non-magical
a soup.
material you put into it
Yeah.
will just kind of like melt down and then turn into like that gray sludge.
But it's always gonna be a soup of some sort, and it's
Yeah.
just like you can eat that. And also the other alternative was it just always has soup in it,
Mhm.
like hot soup,
Mhm.
meaning transporting the bastard is gonna be hard. It's just always gonna have
Yeah.
hot soup, and you gotta figure a way to
Yeah.
contain it or something, but it's just
But
it doesn't
you
like,
gotta be careful because if the lid touches the soup, then the lid is gonna melt and turn into
"Oh, you're a
soup.
bastard, I wasn't even thinking of that." But yeah, like, yeah. But just like I'm between 2 worlds where it's just like anything put into it, so it's like you're giving somebody it's like, "Hey, this is good in that you guys will never technically starve,
Right.
but you gotta eat 1 spoon at a time,
Yeah.
and, this is gonna you don't know what you're gonna eat." So it might be like, "Ooh, that was good. Not feeling that one.
Yeah.
I
I
don't even know
think
what meat that is." And then it's kinda like, for story purposes, but
yeah.
it's like, "Oh, never ending food,
I like the concept of
but
it
this is what
being
it
like
is."
it could be a soup from anywhere. It could be like as long as it is something that is consumed by someone.
Correct.
It classifies and is able to be like
Mhm.
pulled out of there. I like the I like that a lot. I think I would also use it as a uh like you could give it the ability to um uh, oh man, I am having the hardest time thinking today. You could give it the ability to enhance existing soups as well. Of like if you take a soup and you put it into the bowl, then like that soup would just allow you to eat that soup. But it would be like heartier and more fulfilling and stuff like that, but it would have to be like you passed like a certain threshold on like a DC to make a soup that the bowl felt worthy of serving. Like you get into some like weird little
Yeah.
stuff that way too if you wanted to.
Here's in order to keep the namesake, I think what I would do is either you put any substance in there and it becomes a soup, or if you put a soup in there, it still becomes the gray gruely stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
it tastes like the soup you put in.
Mm-hmm.
So no one will ever know your soup.
Mm.
Like you're still never letting them know your next soup if you put the soup in there.
Yeah. I
So
like
I could
that.
see that. Yeah. But yeah. And the concept of like dual magic items that share effects, like now it's just
Mm-hmm.
tap dancing in my head.
Rosie in the chat said it's a Tupperware MLM. Regular lids will melt right away, but with the Blobbin and Pesh's arcane Tupperware, never worry about your lids being incorporated into soup again.
Oh god, because that or it's gonna be a three-piece. It's a three-piece magic
A
item where you
three-piece
gotta have
item. Yeah.
the lid, the bowl, and the spoon.
No,
It doesn't
no,
work without it.
it's a 5-piece item. It's the lid, the bowl, and the spoon, the kettle, and the ladle.
Oh my god,
It's just the deeper into it you go. As soon as you think you have
it's
all
the
of the
full
items,
set.
you'll be told that there's more items you hadn't heard about previously.
All right. This is what it is, right? There was all right. When God cast the first heroes
We've
feast,
been on
the
this one
table
so
was
long.
set. The table was set with us like certain items, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
legend has it that the tableware of the first heroes feast exists, and if you can get all the
Yeah,
items,
yeah, yeah.
you will have the ultimate heroes feast,
Right.
right? So I've built a campaign around this where the party has never let them know your next soup, and it's the
Right.
bowl of God. And because he had a soup appetizer situation,
Uh-huh.
so it was God's first soup situation.
Yeah.
But they know that the rest of the table setting, so they're gonna want the candelabra
Right.
of the mood setting candelabra. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh no, buddy, I'm going
Yeah.
into a full. You
The-
gotta stop because
the
I'm about to
ta-
go into the full.
Oh yeah, we need to move
the
on.
full heroes
The,
feast.
the table of heroes feast, the knife and fork.
The mood setting candelabra, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you light if you light 3 candles in this, it's going to set the mood, and you got to put that in quotes and go like, this is only happens if everybody's cool with it. But it's
According
gonna
to
get
legend,
it gets
if
kinda
you
sexy.
are able to assemble the full dining room set of Heroes Feast, if you perform Heroes Feast using it, it will become a permanent fixture of you.
I
Yeah,
immediately thought that. I was like, it becomes a permanent heroes
yeah,
feast.
that's crazy. That's a whole ass campaign.
Woo! That's really good.
Okay.
Oh boy.
What? So that was a. Do you feel like I feel like that's a trinket as like with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
base thing with
Yeah, yeah.
just spoon and bowl, it's a trinket.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
If you want to go into a full ass campaign revolving around assembling God's dinnerware,
It'd be a trinket or a tool, whatever like cooks utensils are, whatever you put
Yeah.
like utensils in like a
Yeah.
bowl. So I think that's it's there.
Rosie in the chat said the candelabra of consensual mood setting, and there's something so funny to me about a magic item that reads the desires of all party member like all people there and determines what the most optimal mood for everybody is and sets the
Yeah.
mood to that.
Sometimes it's just Mario Kart. Sometimes
yeah.
it's just like we're gonna hang out and it's just like chill vibes and we're gonna play Mario Kart. Sometimes it's a little spicy. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you you and the rest of your 6-person party show up back to camp and it's just like really sexy lighting and stuff and it's like wait, were all of you feeling this too? And it's like, yeah, it's been an exciting adventure. Other times you walk in
know
and
this about all of us.
the mood is just somebody's gonna get punched in the face. Like it reads the mood and
fight
determines.
lighting?
Yeah, fight lighting.
Oh my god!
Welcome to Friday Night Fight Lighting. Anyway.
All right, I think I did 17 items.
I know this was a very long turn for you.
I apologize.
Okay. I feel like I don't want to do another crap item because I did one previous. let's do a good item. Um, this is uh a weapon. It could be like sword, axe, whatever, right? It is a weapon that learns as you are battling with it. So it learns like your fighting style. It also learns the fighting styles of like other enemies and stuff like that. So like if you've fought a lot of wargs, like it learns what wargs do. It learns how wargs attack. It learns the weak points of wargs. It is learning this stuff and is able to like execute on those things. So if you have like an encounter where you are encountering the same type of monster over and over again, the sword would learn, okay, this is how they attack. So against that creature, you now have a +1 to AC. It knows how to attack the creature. It's now a +1 weapon against that creature. But then the more you attack these creatures, the more you are being like attacked by them, it learns the different like more deeper elements of it to the point where it's like, okay, this is a +3 weapon against this type of
Mm-hmm.
monster. I think it would also give you like just insights into different creatures and stuff like that. Like the more it learns, the better the more
I,
information it is able to extend to you.
I have the the what I presume I think this is the funniest way to do this particular item, this weapon. I just imagined a sword, right? And the hilt has a big old pair of like circle glasses,
Hmm.
like almost like Harry Potter like circle glasses like are the hilt.
Hmm.
And when you use the sword to kill things, it's like learning, like textbook learning.
Hmm.
And then whenever you want to like use it from that point forward, you take the glasses off and you put the glasses on, and then that's how it imparts the knowledge to you. But that's also how you could use the knowledge like in other sense, like so it's like I killed a bunch of wargs, I have advantage on wards. You flip the glasses off and then you're like a nerd all of a sudden because you push it up like, oh well, actually,
Actually,
lure the warg tracks, use
according
those
to
glasses to like find the thing, and that's what gives it. But like
yeah,
like it's another two-parter where it's like the
yeah,
weapon and glasses, and the knowledge is stored in the glasses, so you either
yeah.
put it on yourself or on the weapon. So it's either that's
Alternatively, it like prints you out like a receipt at the end of the day that has like all of the information it's learned. So it's
oh
like
my god.
wargs tend to favor their front legs when attacking versus their back legs. If you attack into their front legs, you're more likely to interrupt their attacks. And
It gives advantage to bullies when
it
they get
relies on you like you reading over all of the information it's given you and like utilizing that information going forward. Ooh, maybe that's it though. Maybe it gives you like information, but it requires you as both the character and the player to like study that information and be able to use
Mm.
it going forward. So like it'll say the a weak spot for an enemy, and then the next time you're attacking it, you as the player can be like, I'm aiming for this weak spot to like gain bonuses and stuff. But if you're not doing the like if you're not taking action on it, it's not going to like automatically give you those bonuses. It also means you could like shout that stuff out to like party members and stuff to like kind of extend that benefit across the party.
Well, I guess this just goes to, do you want it to be like on the player to remember and it's like you have this great thing if you
Hmm.
remember, or put it all into the weapon and then if
Hmm.
they don't use it then it's their fault? Cuz I also imagine like if they're not like doing, like I say glasses, but if they're not doing a thing to remember,
Hmm.
what if it's like, oh, you don't remember that shit about work, you aren't wearing those glasses, like
Right.
you, or like, do you have your sword with you? It's almost like this lucky charm type of situation. This is why you remember it all. Like
Hmm.
you didn't study wargs for years. You didn't study dragons for years. This dragon, this weapon just gets it.
Right.
So like you can try and then see
I
if you
do
remember.
think I do think my initial instinct is to have it be contained within the blade, that like the blade itself is learning. And
Mhm.
so it is like directing your attack as you like
Mhm.
lunge forward because it knows where you need to hit. I
I think
picture
it'd be
the
cool, yeah.
scene from Princess Bride where like they're trying to find the torture area, and Inigo Montoya like has the sword, and he's like, guide my sword. He's like walking through the woods and then just kind of like slumps forward with the sword into the tree, and it's like
Mhm.
that's the secret knot, and it opens the door. But like in combat, like it's
Yeah.
helping
I
guide you towards the thing.
I think, like, the
Spoilers for
player
Princess Bride if you haven't
yeah.
seen it.
I think the player, like, remembering and, like, that's a fun character growth moment, but, I think it should be, like, they need to hold the blade or
Hmm.
wield it or do something with it, and then it's kind of, like, almost like a fugue state where it's just like, "Alright, hold on one second. Yeah, the dragon flew south by southwest because they hibernate," and they you know what I mean? It's almost like like and they're like, "Alright, so what are we doing?" We're
Right.
alright, it's like, "Yo, you just said we gotta go that way," and it's just like, yeah, no, the thing." And it's just like, does it take you over? It's like, no, it just like injects the knowledge, but then it like it's almost like a drug, a
It's
knowledge
difficult
injection.
not to also verbalize the thought.
Correct. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like you inject it, you know, you utilize the knowledge and whatever it is, but then it's like it's already washing away. Like the memory's already fading because it wasn't yours. It was just implanted in there. And then it's just like, yeah, I knew it for a second, but like I don't know it. It just pumped it into me and now it's gone. So boom. But like I do like that it would be like over time maybe it like, they're doing it enough, then there's more in the player because then it'll be like, oh, at this point, it's like you are learning because you're doing it
Hmm.
XYZ amount of times. But in the early days of it, it should definitely be like it's all in this thing.
Hmm.
This is the only thing that whatever. And it's like maybe one day you'll remember all this dragon stuff. And it's like
Yeah.
in you, it's just like, you know what? Yeah, you've done this enough times and said it, and then it's now becoming a little bit of muscle memory.
Hmm.
You have this type of bonus.
Hmm.
Um, Especially if it's like they've done it on a lot of things, because it's
Yeah.
one thing if it's like, oh, this campaign we're fighting this a lot, we're gonna grow in this field. Otherwise, it's like trying to make like a growth chart of like, all right, you have to take out this many things or have this many interactions for it to like ascend, you know,
Yeah.
with this type of skill and ability.
You could absolutely, depending on how intelligent you wanted to make the blade as well, if you want to give it some personality where it's like it doesn't it has it's learning and it will give you this information, but if you're not acting on that information, like if you are like just relying on the blade to do the work, or you
Mhm.
are like it's given you information and then you're not making any attempt to like go after it, then it's not going to give you as much information, or it's going to start pulling
Mhm.
back, and it's like you're only relying on your own attacks and stuff. I
Mhm.
like a sentient weapon. You can like play around with that personality a
That
bit.
that was something I wasn't sure about. Was like, is it sentient or is it almost like a computer in that it got information, it can
Mm,
inject information into you, but that's all it is. It's a
right.
tool. It's a thing that its function is to
Hmm.
get this. It has this now. It's like a tome, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like magic items can store information like legend or like almost like it has like a legend lore absorption effect.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's absorbing this knowledge, it's
Hmm.
got it, and it's not doling it out maliciously or beneficially. It's just like, it's like I know how to kill dragons expertly because they're in this. If I try to kill a this, that's not a dragon. This
Right.
thing knows how to do this good.
Right.
I can't shear sheep
Some
great because I can do this.
somebody's attacking a wyvern, and they're like, why am I not getting like any
Yeah,
additional thing? It's like
yeah,
wyverns aren't dragons. Like
correct.
what are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Like if it was
Um,
like a person or if it was sentient, and be like, okay, here's how I can apply this knowledge to this because it would
right.
think, it could reason.
Right. This is a
You give
different
it like a nerd.
classification.
If you give it a nerdy sentience, then it'll be like, I guess, you can try to have it rationalize and help
Hmm.
you as best as it can. But if it's just a absorption of knowledge, injection of knowledge,
Hmm.
and that's it, injecting enough knowledge, maybe it'll get into you eventually, but like it'll be like a clear cut
Hmm.
thing. And then if you want to do like a growth chart, then there, but like it's like very straightforward.
Hmm.
The other one is like, oh, this is something they have to,
Yeah.
and not that it's unreliable, but like there's more, more nuance to it.
Right. You could absolutely have it be like, this is a +1 blade. Like it is always a +1 blade. But if it knows the creatures that it is fighting, like it becomes a +2 blade. If it has like an extensive history of with these creatures, it's a +3 blade, and like it kind of elevates as you go.
Mhm. I
Um,
think I think it'd be real funny if it's like, hold on, guys, I'll be back. I just need to go away for a weekend. And when they come back, it's like I'm ready to take on the army. And it's like, what are you doing? It's just like all weekend I've been fighting against +3 swords. And it's just like if they have good items, if they have good weapons, I've been fighting against really good people. It's just like really good weapons. And I know how to break sun swords. Here we go. Let's go.
yeah,
It's just like, oh, he broke the game.
yeah, that's really funny.
I fought against every weapon type.
Yeah, anybody who tries to use a sword against me, they're screwed, man. Um,
So hit.
yeah,
So hit.
and it's all axes. He's like, I didn't prepare for this.
I wasn't ready.
You wanna do one more each?
Yeah. I've I don't know if I've said this on the show. Can I vocalize one that I've done in my life before, or should
Yeah,
it just be completely
yeah,
off the dome? Because I
yeah.
think this is
No,
something
I've
that
used at least one on this list is one that I've
uh
previously given players.
stop me if this already exists or if I've already done it.
Yeah.
But where it's like almost like a
It's a
choker.
sword where if you roll a nat 20, it decapitates them.
Yeah.
Um,
I imagine like a choker,
yeah.
and
Choker, I hardly
uh,
know her.
and it and it
Um,
it allows a dragonborn to change the elemental type of
yes. Yeah.
their thing, and the way you would change it would be either like if it's a gem dragonborn, now putting a different gem in
Uh-huh.
there would do that, and then it was a matter if you can get a scale from another type of dragon.
Sure.
So it's almost like a hot swap, but it's just like, oh, we're gonna need the firepower.
Yeah.
And they can
I
kind of
love the
like
concept of
change it.
a metallic dragonborn being like, okay, but I want to use a like one of the gem dragons breath
Hmm.
weapons, and like
Yeah.
have being able to kind of swap out the gem that you wanted to use. That's very cool.
And now that in the new 2024 rules, like all dragonborn get wings at some point, and the wings look like whatever their elemental power is. I just imagine like a dragonborn flying, and it's just like, hey buddy, that ice isn't gonna cut it. It's just like, all right, hold on, and then he changes it. He's just like a hot swap, and now they're electricity. It's
Yeah.
just like the
Yeah.
ice
Yeah.
shatters, and and I'm just thinking of like something where it's just like, it just changed, but it doesn't give them bonuses. It just lets them do the change. And I could just imagine
Hmm.
like, oh, like there would be some advantages to like using different elemental types. I don't know if I
Hmm.
would do like, oh, it gives you if that dragon had a specific property or
I mean
something like that. But
the radiant one where they can like heal people with
yeah,
their thing is crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot that you could kind of play with that. Um I feel like that's probably a good item. Like
I think
that's
it's
a
good.
great item.
It's like
Like it's
there wouldn't be.
limited in who can actually utilize it, but like it's a
Correct, yeah,
very
it's
cool item.
specific, it doesn't,
Um
like, give you any bonuses in the sense of, like, "Oh, yeah, now you can do this, that, the third, like, now you can do this." It's like, no, they could, shoot this, now they shoot that, and if they get the different stuff, they can hot swap it, and, like, they could find themselves in like, I would say an uncommon magic item type of situation where it's
mhm.
like, it's good, it's not, like, the craziest of things, but,
I
like, yeah,
feel like
it's not terrible.
so you said the uh for things that aren't like the the gem ones,
Yeah, because I was
a
thinking, like,
dragon scale of
I thought
that
of
type.
I thought of a dragon scale like would be it, and then I was like, oh, but if there is amethyst and there's like,
Hmm.
could you almost like I think that if you can get a material that represents the dragon, it
Hmm.
would be consumed. Like if it's
Sure.
like a little, but if it's a dragon scale, then so if you got an amethyst dragon's scale, then
Hmm.
yeah. But
That
I'm
works as
thinking like,
well. Yeah.
could you get like a piece of brass or could you get
Hmm.
something like that
Yeah.
as like almost like a temporary, like a consumable thingy?
Maybe they burn out a little bit
They burn
faster
out
and
because
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's just being like charred up or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but like that makes it so it's like, well, I can't really use ice because we don't just have ice around.
Right.
So am I gonna go like, hey, wizard, I need you to like ice knife my neck real quick, like, you know. So it's like,
Or you're pulling like some sort of elemental essence shard or something like
hmm,
that.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that is a very, very cool item to utilize. And I like that you could kind of play with it in a variety of different ways. It gives more versatility to a dragonborn.
hmm,
My question for you, I don't think I already asked a question.
no,
My question would be, do you feel like there is a certain threshold of how expensive the thing would be for that in order for it to pull from it? So like if you have this necklace that you are
mm,
putting like a gem into, does it have to be a gem worth like a certain amount? Or like how would that kind of play out? Because in my head it would be like there's a threshold where uh if you get a gem worth this amount and you put it in there, then it like stays and like it doesn't
hmm,
burn out that material. But if you did like one that is worth less than that, it's going to be essentially single use of like you can put a piece of
hmm.
amethyst in there that's not worth that amount. But it's going to like burn through it.
I guess the way to figure out the math of it, it would probably have to be like, out of all the types of things, what's the least expensive of the most expensive thing?
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I was like, if it's copper, like you couldn't just do a copper piece because there's no clear
Right.
equivalent to that. Um, so I'm trying to think of like, I don't know about diamond. Is there a diamond dragon? Is there a
Yeah.
diamond dragon?
Yeah, that's the
There is.
radiant one.
Yeah. So like, what's the smallest
Or
diamond
it's either diamond or
increment you can
crystal.
get?
But yeah, like
Whoa, my that's weird. My camera just shifted into like portrait mode,
that's
which is
that's
interesting.
really funny. What's very funny about that is that like I had just clicked to a different tab on my end, and as soon as I clicked to this tab, it changed over on your end. I don't think those are connected, but it freaked me out for
Weird.
a second. I thought you were zooming
Oh,
in.
no, no, it went from like highest quality to like instead of like 1080, it went to 900, and that is
Mm-hmm,
like my camera can do it. So it like zoomed in, it rotated itself and it cropped it in as if it was like a TikTok portrait short
mm-hmm.
video. I was like, "What?" I'm amazed I wasn't
Um,
sideways.
let's see here. The dun 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 where
All right, I think you have one more, right?
Yeah, the I was trying to find um it doesn't look like the crystal dragonborns or the gem dragonborns are in the like just dragonborn rules. Super weird.
Oh.
Um, but yeah, I like that I like that a lot. What would you call that?
I think I don't know. I think I would just kind of do Dragon's Choker, or I would do I man, something with the breath weapon. I'm trying to think,
Mm-hmm.
or uh a dragon's grip. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, because
Hmm.
it's like they got their grip around your neck. And if it's like a big dragon, that's what it would almost resemble like a dragon's claw, like closing around your neck type
Ooh,
of thing.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
um, Dragon's grip. I like that. Dragon's grip, choker, amulet,
yeah.
whatever.
Hmm.
Um, I like that. Okay. Let's see. What do we? Looks like we need another crap item. Um, we've got several good items, several trinkets and potions. So let's do one more crap item. We have two items that are kind of like both just cursed, and that's why they're crap items. I want to do one that's genuinely just a bad item. Um,
Hmm.
I think I'm gonna go with it's uh a knockoff cloak of elven kind. where
Okay.
it's a Cloak of Elvenkind. It's not made by elves, and is like very the quality's real low. It's like buying a Cloak of Elvenkind from H&M, where it's
Okay.
like this is a Cloak of Elvenkind, but the like it's the enchantment's not that strong, and the material's gonna start unraveling, and just like
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna lose more and more of the enchantment as time
So
goes
so
on.
it's lower quality, but is it bad?
It's a it's not a like bad item in the sense that
Mm-hmm.
like it's gonna be like it's going to
Mm-hmm.
work as intended at first. And then it's just going to like the more like the longer you have it, the more it's just wearing away and like slowly just deteriorating. And
Mm-hmm.
eventually it'll be like, okay, you go from having like your what is it advantage on all stealth checks.
Stuff. Yeah.
You no longer have the advantage, and now it's just like a flat like bonus, but like the bonus isn't very high.
Mm-hmm.
Like people no longer have disadvantage against seeing you because like the colorations have started to fade, and as they
Mm-hmm.
fade, the like the core like material is showing through, and it's just bright orange.
I imagine
um
getting this from the boardwalk. I don't know why. Like you said, H&M. I was like, that feels like nicer than. I feel like the boardwalk would be a night. Like it's technically clothes.
The
It's
reason I chose
technically goes
H&M
on your
is because
body.
like their H&M, I feel like everything I've ever bought from H&M, I don't go to there very often. When I buy
Once a week,
something,
twice a week, 3 times a week. That's about it.
I think I've bought like a shirt, a hat, maybe some sunglasses.
A half hour
The
ago.
when I have bought stuff from H&M, it's like it looks pretty good. But like it's not necessarily super comfortable, and the material is like not high quality. And so like then things start like unraveling. Like it's very much what is the like fashion in this moment? Cool. We're gonna make stuff just quick and cheap
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
those things, and they are not meant to last, and they are going to like fade away. Whereas like a true Cloak of Elvenkind is gonna be like intended to like
Yeah.
last forever. And I do think the fact that it's a magic item that will just fall apart is like it's a crappy item.
Putting a time limit or a
Rosie
use number
called it a
on, yeah,
Cloak of Elven kind of, and I think
that's
that's
really good.
amazing.
That's really good. Putting like a time limit or like a number of uses
Hmm.
on a traditionally like permanent solid magic
Yeah,
item, I think is really good.
yeah.
Um, and if it was something like that, do you think it would be a time limit or a number of like activations, or like how do you think, like how would the rate of decay
I
be
think it's
accelerated or decreased?
I think it's one of those things where it's like I have clothes from stores like that are like I've had them for years and they're still holding up, but those are the items that I've taken good care
Yeah.
of them
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like I've been very intentional about it. If
Mhm.
you have an item where it's like ooh, you really shouldn't get this wet, like don't go out in the rain with this. Oh, you're going through like dense foliage, like if a stick catches on this, like it might rip. Like if you're getting into combat with it on, like it's not gonna like resist being slashed with a sword all that well. Like it I think it any opportunity for it to take damage, you would just roll to see if it does, and it's
Yeah.
just going to continue to deteriorate
Yeah,
from there.
accelerate how like
Yeah.
almost like it has its own hit point, or like not hit point as a number, it's like it's taken X amount of
Hmm.
like hits. Like yeah.
Yeah.
I'm I if I can just just toss out one last shitty one.
Sure.
Uh I don't know why I thought of like sending stones, but they're yelling stones. And it's something where it's like you have to see the other stone and yell into it, and then they can hear you. And at first you're like, well, then why don't you just yell? And the only time I'm thinking about it is like, oh, there's like a barrier between you, or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
one's inside and one's outside. Like, so it's like there's technically a use case, but
Hmm.
not like a stealthy case. Like, not
Right.
like it's just like, all right, you're in there. All right, I see you're hiding behind there. Just keep watching. It's
Yeah.
just like, yo, they know you're in there. Like, and
Yeah.
it's just like shit. Like, so that like, but I just think it's like it's really shitty. You wouldn't use these unless it's like ultra specific use case. But at the same time, if you're out in a crowded square and maybe that's where it makes the most sense. But
Right.
just yelling sending stone that you have to yell into and also see them. It's
Yeah.
kind of funny to me.
I was when you said yelling stones, I was thinking of a sending stone that like because sending is usually like long
Yeah.
distance, right? I was picturing like using using it, but instead of it being like they hear it in their head or like it comes out of the stone and they hold it like to their ear to listen to it or something like that. It's just very loud, like
Oh
amplified
yeah,
yelling from within the stone. And it's like
yeah.
it doesn't matter how quietly you speak sending the
It's a
message, it's always
yeah.
a scream coming from the
It,
stone.
it would be very funny to like. I love doing this where like if a character does or says something,
Mhm.
and then I'm like, okay, yes, you say and do that. I'm gonna tell you how everybody heard it, and it'd be
Mhm.
like I've asked somebody to repeat something in a
Yeah, yeah,
certain
yeah.
way. So like I would be like, "Oh, you say that message? Okay, this is what they hear. Could you say that again, but yelling like very crazily loud as if you
Yeah.
were yelling across a canyon?
Yeah.
So we can all see what they heard,
Right.
and that would be funny to like just get
It's
those
so good.
that double
It
thing.
my one of my groups went to a shop and had like been looking for like random stuff, and the one player was like, I want to buy weird like defective items. And so they bought three items from that shop. One of them was a hat that when worn gave you IBS. One of them was a doll that if you put it in the room where you're sleeping, it will absorb any nightmares before they
Mhm.
would get to you. So like you will not have any nightmares. However, every time the doll absorbs one, it gets scared and screams. So,
I remember
so,
this, yes.
so instead of having like a doll that absorbs the nightmares to prevent you from having nightmares, you're still gonna be woken up probably more easily by this doll screaming throughout the night. And then there was a skull that would randomly whistle. But you had no control over what that whistle would be like, and you had no control over when the whistling would happen. The skull would just whistle randomly. And they immediately set about trying to find ways to break my game by using those items in various ways. Um, awesome.
Fun times.
We covered substantially more items this time. Well
Mhm.
done, Junie. We
We
made
did it.
it. Um, we will be back next time with more nonsense. Who knows what it'll be then.
I
Um,
have exactly 4, I guess 5 days. I don't know how many days. I have until Friday to win my own Ren Fair contest, costume contest, so that way
yeah,
we can be on
yeah, so
equal
that we
footing
can
again.
both be
Um,
so we can both be
because
winners.
yeah,
Which really is going to be a step down for you. Like, I appreciate you
I
deciding that
just
you
want us to be
wanted
on the
to.
same playing field, and if that
Right,
means
for
coming down to your
once.
level, then that's
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
is.
It'll be nice. It'll
Uh,
be nice to know that we're equals again.
I got to take a step down by winning instead of just crushing it. I just have to win it.
Right.
Uh,
Um, you have calls to action this week, Judy?
yeah, crush it. Just straight up crush
Yep.
it, right?
Yep.
Whatever it is you're doing, crush it.
Crush it.
If you can't crush it, win it. Then if you can't crush it or win it, just be it. You know what I mean?
If you can't crush it,
Uh,
win it. If you can't win it, do it. If you can't do it, yeah, you tried.
I only have 3 spots, so that's all. So like that's what we got.
Oh man. Uh,
These calls to action, I crushed it, so I'm already off to a good start. I'm already there.
cool. Well, yep, that's that's the end of the show, y'all.
You immediately just hit end. It's like, well, that's the brute.
Have a great rest of your week. We'll be back on Friday with more nonsense for y'all. Have a good one. Bye.